Hey guys, Neomis here. So for today's video, I'm going to be giving a little bit of my thoughts on the game that happened yesterday in regards to Arsenal's final preseason game versus Real Madrid, the issues surrounding Dani Ceballos, as well as Reiss Nelson and Emile Smith-Rowe loans could be on the agenda. Stay tuned to my thoughts and my views, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and please leave your comments below. Now, let's go. So last night was Arsenal's game against Real Madrid. It was the final preseason game for Arsenal's US tour, and the game ended 2-2 after full time, and Real Madrid won 3-2 on penalties, which, hey, you know, everybody's saying it's a preseason game and you can't look too much into it, but I like to think this is a great opportunity to see what your team is capable of. Overall, I think you have some real shining lights throughout this preseason tour. Bukayo Saka, I thought, has been consistently a 7 out of 10 bare minimum. He hasn't really done that much where I could say, wow, he's been absolutely glorious, fantastic. Probably except for the first game, but again, you know, that was against an MLS side. So I do put that all in perspective. But when you look at overall how he played against Real Madrid, he came on at Fiorentina. I think he produced a solid performance, and I would easily say he was a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. I've been so impressed by Bukayo Saka, and still only 17 years old. Super impressed. Next one I do believe has to be Joe Willock. Just like the game last night, I thought that in the first half against the game against Real Madrid, he really controlled the game. He helped give Arsenal a platform where once they received the ball from the defenders in that midfield position, they were helping to drive forward to create chances, and he did a lot of that in the first half. And you know, Arsenal leading kind of 2-up. It was unfortunate that in the second half, when he was substituted off, that Arsenal's kind of capitulated. You could tell that they lacked that kind of midfield presence, which is what he was able to give, not just in this Real Madrid game, but you know, in the previous games that he's come on, he's been a real threat. I mean, I could see a lot of that Aaron Ramsey style within him. He starts from deep, drives forward, trying to score goals. I'm just super impressed by Joe Willock, and is probably the main candidate for me that's going to be a guaranteed being on the bench against that first game against Newcastle, which I'll be uploading my kind of preview over the next week. But definitely he will be on the bench for our upcoming games throughout the rest of the season. Thirdly, we got Aubameyang, scored a brilliant goal yesterday against Real Madrid. All of the goals I actually have put on my Instagram page, so if you haven't seen those already, check out my Instagram page at King Neomis. I've got all of them there, including Lacazette's goal. But I thought that this preseason, Aubameyang, fantastic. I mean, he looks like he has not let up one bit. He's gone so hard in training, scored goals, helped create chances, was able to play out wide, play central. Like, he's been brilliant. Cannot fault Abada one bit. Then I do have to give some kind of honorable mentions to probably one player in particular, Carl Jenkinson. Now, Carl Jenkinson is a player who everybody would have been like, you know what, Jenko, he's got to go like that way. He's got to go that way. But I do feel that Carl Jenkinson, from all the games that he's played, and I know he came on kind of last minute ahead of Maitland-Niles in this game, I thought he played really well, to the point where he was controlling Marcelo for a lot of the game. Even Marcelo acknowledged and looked back at him just to say, you know what, like, I see you. And I do have to say that he performed really well, performed far better than I ever thought that he would within an Arsenal shirt. So I do have to commend that. I think that there could actually be a place for Carl Jenkinson. But I know, guys, let me know what you think on that. But I really did think that he had a good preseason, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts against Newcastle, to be really honest, especially if Maitland-Niles, who picked up a knock at the beginning of the game in training, is still injured by the start of the season. I could really see that Carl Jenkinson kind of getting that position for the starting lineup. So within this game against Real Madrid, Marco Asensio got injured, and he's unfortunately going to be out for quite a while. Looks like it's his ACL. Everyone's talking about 9 months for him being out. Now, after the game, Unai Emery did an interview afterwards that I got from James Benge online, and he said that this is going to affect our loan of Dani Ceballos. Now, everybody seems to think that Dani Ceballos, the deal is done. Yes, it's true that he is in London. However, this deal isn't done. All it said that, and I can get you the quote, and you could go check him out on his Twitter page, James Benge, saying that the deal isn't done, but they are in very, very, very advanced talks. So it looks like it's close, but not quite yet. And it said that because of Asensio being injured, that it could cause a bit of hiccup with us getting Dani Ceballos. Now, even though both players play completely different positions, I mean, Asensio is more of a winger, can play anywhere within the front three. Yes, he can play as a number 10 like Dani Ceballos, but Real Madrid have never really used Asensio as like a 10. They've used him either wide right or wide left. And Dani Ceballos isn't going to be playing that kind of position for us, and he's never played it for Real Madrid. The only times that he's really played our position has been the number 10, which is kind of that attacking midfield central position, which is that Ozil position, slash Mkhitaryan position, slash Iwobi position, or deeper in like a number 8 position, which would be Aaron Ramsey's role in that central midfield role, creating chances and helping to kind of drive forward that way for Arsenal. He's been compared a bit to like a Santi Cazorla-esque, and Unai Emery even came out recently and kind of praised him for being as good of a player that he is. You know, he knows him from his time at Real Betis. Obviously, both are, you know, Spaniards, so he knows a lot about him. Now, it said that this deal could affect it. At least that's what Unai Emery says, which I thought was a bit surprising. So it's going to be a close one. I don't think, personally, this is just my personal opinion, I don't think that it should, but maybe this is one of them where, with Bale looking to leave and with all these injuries to Asensio, maybe Zidane might think, I don't want to get rid of another attacker. But who knows what's going to happen with this. So again, fingers crossed that this one manages to work out, and we will definitely see. But this one isn't over. This isn't a complete deal yet. So let's see what happens. Emile Smith-Rowe, he is rumored to be looking at a loan move somewhere in Germany. Right now, it's said that Wolfsburg are looking at Emile Smith-Rowe as being an option for them next season. It's said that Arsenal are looking to loan him out to get first team football. And because of the fact that his loan last season, again at Leipzig, he was injured the majority of the time, he wasn't really able to stamp his mark and really develop as a player that what Arsenal thought that they would. So he's going out to potentially Wolfsburg. Hoffenheim could be another option there. RB Leipzig are also looking at loaning him again. It's said that that might not happen because they're also interested in purchasing him, which Arsenal don't want to purchase him. But we still could consider loaning him there. Maybe a season, maybe 2 seasons, who knows. But we know that guys like Emile Smith-Rowe, these guys need games. And that's something that's sending them out on loan is able to do so. Second player that's rumored to be looking for a loan, or at least Arsenal are considering sending out on loan, is Reiss Nelson. And this is something that happened yesterday just because of, I wouldn't say poor, but I would say uneventful preseason that Reiss had in the first, 2-3 games. He just didn't have much of an impact. I thought that I expected more out of Reiss. I expected goals, I expected assists, I expected trying to create some chances. And it was really only against Real Madrid that we really saw any of that, which, you know, kind of figures like against one of the best teams in the world, Reiss Nelson comes alive. And one thing that I will say is that everyone that really thought that Reiss Nelson was going to be starting, I've noticed in this preseason, I don't think that he's ready to start for Arsenal, but I do think that him coming up off the bench, you know, being that super sub, and I really do think it's a mentality issue when it comes to Reiss Nelson in regards to starting and his performance. But overall, I think that he's a good player. He does need time. He needs time to develop. But I think keeping him at Arsenal, being that kind of super sub, and you know that Arsenal are really going to be playing 50 plus games or so, he's going to get chances, and that's the thing. Now, if you're talking about playing 90 minutes game after game, I don't know. I don't see that happening with Arsenal. I think if we manage to get any one number of the wingers that we're rumored with, then I don't see it really happening there. So yeah, for me, Reiss Nelson is going to be staying at Arsenal. I know that it is really Unai Emery that gets the kind of final decision on what happens with players that's going to be sent out on loan. It said there are talks about Eddie Nketiah on loan, which I think is fucking stupid. Just shouldn't be happening. So, you know, we've got several players who I think that will provide adequate backups for our squad, especially if injuries happen. But let's see what really happens there. But guys, thank you once again for watching this video. Please leave your comments below in regards to what you've thought on all of these rumors in regards to Emile Smith-Rowe, Reiss Nelson, and obviously if you watched the game yesterday from Arsenal versus Real Madrid final preseason game. Leave your comments below. Let's get a kind of discussion going, and I will see you guys next time.